Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to the first Meta Monday. Today we're going to be covering a highly splashable engine that found itself with a 14.9% representation at LCS8, which is, of course, Dogmatica. I was originally going to talk about Virtual World, but it turns out I find BFD Turbo about as interesting as you find me. So who are Dogmatica? What they do? And why? Let's find out. Dogmatica, or Dragma as they're known in the OCG, are a condensed engine of extra deck hate and excellent utility. They found a lot of fans with their controlling playstyle and ability to mesh with a bunch of different archetypes. Like seriously, these guys can fit in like pretty much any deck. I would be remiss if I wasn't to mention their art, which has also helped draw people in.
I just love the artwork in Dogmatica.
And they have a point. Dogmatica looked like something from Dark Souls, if Dark Souls had a weeb option.
The fire fades, and the lords go.
These Crusaders of Light apparently really hate furries, so I guess they're okay. Disclaimer, I love Tribe Gates and have nothing against furries. Live your best life, you beautiful weirdos. What exactly do Dogmatica do? Dogmatica love to send monsters from the extra deck to the grave. This can be a massive boon, and gives them a lot of versatility to their place. While there are more Dogmatica cards than what I'm covering here, this is a Meta Monday, not Shite Card Saturday. We only really want to look at the competitive engine components. First up, we have Ecclesia, the Weeb Dark Soul. Ecclesia can special summon herself from the hand if there's an extra deck monster in the field. When she's summoned, either normal or special, she can search a Dogmatica card. The fact it says card rather than monster is a real boost, as Dogmatica punishment is a hell of a trap, but we'll get to that later. Having a searcher that has the ability to special summon itself, usually thanks to the opponent having an extra deck monster, is, you know,
pretty good!
Also, she can't be destroyed by battle with a monster special summoned from the extra deck, which is a fun little clause to have. All Dogmatica cards share a clause that you can't special summon from the extra deck the turn you activate them, so there's that as a downside, I guess. Next up, we have Fleur de Lis, the French heraldic lily. Fleur de Lis can special summon herself from the hand when a monster is special summoned from the extra deck. Then, if you control another Dogmatica monster, you know, like that Ecclesia that you summoned to search out the Fleur de Lis, you can negate the effects of one face-up monster in the field. Notice it doesn't say target, meaning it dodges protection from targeting, which is
Pretty good.
Fleur de Lis is also useful on the offense, boosting the attack of all Dogmatica monsters you control by 500 when a Dogmatica monster declares an attack. This means Fleur de Lis becomes a 3k beat stick, which is, everybody now,
Pretty good.
For the final main deck monster, we have Maximus, the Pat Cake champion.
Pat a cake, baker's man. Bake.
Maximus can banish any Fusion, Synchro, Xyz or Link, so any extra deck monster, from your graveyard to special summon himself from hand. During the main phase, you can send two monsters with different names from the extra deck to the graveyard, then your opponent does the same. This is really good against combo decks that, you know, use the extra deck as a pile of extenders, but can backfire if the opponent is running cards that benefit from being sent to the graveyard. But who would do that? There's only one Dogmatica spell worth playing, and it doesn't even have Dogmatica in its name. It is, obviously, £70 worth of searching, aka Nadir's Servant. So what does £70 do? You send one extra deck monster to the graveyard, then you can add one Dogmatica or Fallen of Albaz, but who cares about him? Yet. Monster from the deck or graveyard to your hand with less attack than the monster that you sent from the extra deck. So it's basically an expensive rota, with the upside of dumping something from the extra deck. And, you know, not searching warriors. Now, back to that trap we mentioned earlier. Dogmatica Punishment. Punishment targets one monster, you then send one from the extra deck with higher attack, and then destroy the targeted monster. Clean, simple, pretty strong. With that, we'll leave the main deck to see the boys, girls, and things we're going to be sending from the extra deck to the grave. Let's learn who they are, and the options we have. Titaniclad, the dragon with a way better name in the OCG, lets us add to the hand or special summon one Dogmatica monster from the deck, during the end phase if he was sent to the graveyard that turn. This lets us set up an interruption with Fleur de Lis, or pick up another Ecclesia for a follow-up play on the following turn. While Titaniclad is the only in-archetype option, there's plenty of
Pretty good.
options to send from the extra deck. Nts, Master of Beats. Targets a card in the field and destroys it. The fact it's card and not monster is
Pretty good.
as it can be an out to floodgates and general back row nonsense. Fossil Warrior Skull Knight is like a slightly shittier Nts. You can banish it from grave to destroy a monster on the field. Wind Pegasus at Ignister lets you shuffle an opponent's card on the field back into the deck when a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, by banishing itself from the grave. Psyframe Lord Omega can shuffle himself plus any other card from the graveyard back into the deck. This can be used to interrupt an opponent's plan by hitting a target in their grave, or just to recycle some resources of your own. And since he goes back to the extra deck, he's ready to be sent once more. It's also worth noting that Psyframe Lord Omega's effect in the graveyard is not once per turn. It's not even a soft once per turn. So, I'm trying to think if there's any way to abuse that. Maybe we'll go into that later. Herald of the Arclight can search any ritual card, opening up the option of Dogmatica in any ritual deck. Necros. That's about the only good ritual deck. Xenobirds are cool though. I don't care what anyone says, they're cool. Finally, all of the Shadow fusions have an effect when sent to the grave, with App Clone opening up window plays by searching out Shadow Schism. We're going to go over that line of play in this little one-card combo video. Over to my good friend, me. My only friend, me. Okay, so I figured just to finish off today's episode of Meta Monday, we'd go over a simple one-card combo with a random card for the discard. In this case, it'll be Dogmatica Punishment. So we're going to activate Nadir's Servant, and that is going to send App Clone from the extra deck, words, and it's going to let us search the Ecclesia. Oh look, there she is. Going to resolve Nadir's Servant there, and then we're going to activate App Clone's effect when he's sent to grave, so we get to add one shadow card. We're going to add Schism, and then we discard a card, and here it's just going to be the punishment. And we're going to normal summon Ecclesia. We're just going to search the Maximus, and we're going to normal summon special summon, sorry, not normal summon. Just normal summon a big boy with no monsters left on the field. Yes, so I'm going to special summon Maximus in defense position by banishing the App Colon. I'm going to activate Maximus's effect to send Winda and Titaniclad to the grave. And that is going to then let us set Shadow Schism. We go to the end phase, it's going to trigger Titaniclad. We can either go for another Ecclesia to set up for next turn, or a Fleur de Lis, which is what we'll do here, just to have a negate on the opponent's turn. And when it goes into our opponent's turn and they start their plays and shit, we can then activate Schism, banish Titaniclad and the Winda to special summon Winda from the extra deck. Which is, you know, pretty sweet. So we've got them. There we go. I mean, Julianbic is super fucking laggy for me, and I don't know why. So there's Winda. So we've got them under a Winda lock. We've got Schism there. So if they had a dark monster on field, we'd be able to pop it with the... Well, it's not even destroying actually, which is even better. But if they had a dark monster on field, we could send to the graveyard using Schism, and it's pretty sweet for like such a small, condensed engine. That's the first edition of Meta Monday. I hope you've all enjoyed this little look at the Dogmatica engine, a powerful, concise, and very meta-relevant tool in this little game we call... If you've enjoyed this breakdown, not of the mental kind for once, feel free to click like, smash subscribe, and soothe my inner demons with your kind words in the comments. Until next time friends, T-Worm Frog, checking out.